Hey y'all, welcome to the 30th episode of the Yarn This podcast. I'm Shama, Jessie's Girl 84 on Ravelry, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find my Yarn This groups on Ravelry and Facebook. If this is your first time watching, thanks so much for giving me a shot. If you're one of my returning yarnies, thanks so much for coming back, it means a lot. Today is Thursday, August 16th, 2018. And it's been a few weeks. I have recorded a couple of times. One time I had gotten this camera, which was terrible. I'm going to send it back. And I recorded on it, and it didn't record at all. The other one, I was really trying to finish my dad's blanket. And I got it recorded, and then I ended up just not doing anything with it, so that it was outdated. And I'm just going to record again, because I've got a little bit more time on my hands since the blanket's done. And got a few things to talk about. So let's get started. First of all, puppy love my works in progress. Right now I'm only actively working on one thing, but by tonight or tomorrow I plan to be back working on something else. What I'm working on right now is a pair of socks for my younger son. He wanted some Dragon Ball Z socks. So I got this yarn from Lolo Did It. It's her everyday sock in the Blazing Sevens colorway. Just one second, sorry. In the Blazing Sevens colorway, and this is it. This is orange, obviously. I'm actually becoming a little bit more fond of orange. I can't believe I'm saying that. This is making it look brighter than it really is. It's a good rich orange, but it's not neon as it looks here. It's got a lot of depth of color actually. So I started on this the other night, and he's going to have 72 stitch where I wear 64 stitch. Anyway, this is what I've gotten done so far. And I need to measure his foot so that I'll know when to start the heel. And as always, I'll do my Fish Lips Kiss heel. And I'm using my 9-inch Chowgoo Circs. And it's speeding along. This is just super simple because it is just a plain vanilla sock. It is the French Vanilla Cappuccino sock by CC Almond. But really, I mean, it is just a plain knit in the round sock. And I always do my Fish Lips Kiss heel. And so these should be done very quickly, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to put on the Dragon Ball Z emblem. Let me type that in and see if I can come up with it. It's like Chinese characters. Here we go. I looked for a knitting chart, but I can't find one. But this is what he wants. And I'm going to try to chart it out myself. Oh. There you go. I don't think it'll be too difficult. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to have the little swooshes on it. But he said that was fine. He doesn't care. So after I finish the sock, I'll go back in and I will duplicate stitch over. And these are the two yarns. I've shown you these before. They're both by Sun Valley Fibers hand-dyed yarn. And I got these at DFW. The cream color is called Champagne. Very pretty color. And then the black is just called Onyx, which I love, because I love onyx. So these will be going probably on the leg somewhere. And they're probably not going to be quite as high as I make mine. I usually make the leg of my sock the same length as my foot. There might be a little bit left at the end, but if I hold it doubled up to the toe, there's a little bit extra toe. But so that's really all I'm working on. I'm going to get back to my Mother's Heart shawl, hopefully tonight, because I'm anxious to get it finished and wear it, and also to get started on my next shawl, which I'll talk about, which I have already, but I'll talk about it again. Now, when it comes to Another One Bites the Dust, my FOs, I've actually finished 2 things since the last time I recorded. Ooh, sorry about that. The first thing I finished is the second thing I'll show you. But the second thing that I finished are my Wonder Woman socks. This is Artistic Yarns by Abby and her Abby Grasso self-striping sock, and it's a 75-25 And it's got a beautiful sparkle to it. And this is the Wonder Woman colorway, and I used my 1.5, 2.5 millimeters, and this again was just a plain vanilla cappuccino sock. And here it is. Here's one of them. Here they both are. I'll hold them back a little bit. And I've shown you these before. This is one of my favorite colorways of yarn I've ever worked with. And so to treat myself for finishing these, I went on her website and ordered myself her gingerbread house. It is so beautiful. I'll see if I can pull that up and show it to you in just a second here. But yeah, I finished the socks and I'm so excited. I can't wait to wear them. The other thing that I finished, and I'm not going to be able to do a good enough job holding it up. You know what? I think I'm going to pause. Hang on just a minute. Okay. So I finished my dad's blanket. It turned out to be a lot bigger than I thought. I'm going to the first picture I'm going to show you is my husband and my older son holding it up. You can't see my husband except his hands, but my older son poked his crazy eyes out the top. But here's the blanket. It really is quite a bit bigger than I expected, but in a good way. As I was knitting it on those, what was it, a 48 or 60 inch cable, the more I looked at it, the more afraid I got that it was going to be tiny. I know that it was scrunched up, but as I would kind of pull it out and I would think, oh no, this thing is going to be teeny, and my dad is 6'3". Here's a picture of it laying out with Poppy laying on it. Sorry about the reflection. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. So I'll hold it up a little bit and show you. I'm not going to try to hold it up, but what I'm going to do is show you the colors and whose colors they are in my family. And I washed this. It's all acrylic. I washed it and dried it, and it is so soft. And hopefully my dad can use it this coming up week when he goes back to chemo, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, this is the center. This is orange. This is my dad's favorite color. Then the next one, I did my younger son. And then my niece. Then my brother. Then my sister-in-law. Right here. Oh, hers are really pretty. My older nephew, and he has a Nerf gun that has these colors in it. This neon orange, and then this, it's more like this one right here. And these are the exact colors of his Nerf gun. It was perfect. So I did that one. This one is my older son. Let me unfold it a little bit more. This one right here is my mom's. The next one is my younger nephew. He wanted red and purple, and so I used this yarn right here from Knit Picks. Sorry about the noise. That's my dog playing with her toy. This purple is like a variegated. It's a new yarn from. Did I say Knit Picks? I'm sorry, Hobby Lobby. Boy, I love that. I used that for that one and for my husband's, which I'll show you in a minute. This one is mine. And then this one is my husband's, and I really think that I like his most of all. This red, and then this blue, which is also the Hobby Lobby one. So I wanted to edge it with my dad's orange. Well, it turned out there wasn't enough left over from that original ball to do the whole edging. So I went back and got this other yarn from Hobby Lobby, which is the same one as this. And I'll tell you the name of it in just a minute. I got to look. To do the center and then come back and finish up with another ball of the orange. So that if they weren't the same dye lot, it wouldn't matter. Anyway, this blanket took me a couple of months. June 4th to July 31st, not quite 2 months. And I loved it. I loved knitting this blanket. I'm tempted to knit another one for our couches. Or maybe a couple for our couches. Anyway, so that's the big thing I finished. And my dad's seen it, but because of the way things worked, he didn't get to take it with him. But I'll talk about that again later. Anyway, so those are the two things I've finished. And I was going to quickly show you, during the time that I wasn't podcasting, I did several dishcloths, and I gave some away to someone who whose house was pretty messed up during Hurricane Harvey, which is almost a year. I cannot believe it's been almost a year since Harvey. But I still have several left, and I wanted to go ahead and show you. The first one that I did is this one called Farmhouse Kitchen Dishcloth. This is a pattern by Brittany Coughlin, and she said this was inspired by Chip and Joanna Gaines. It's a smallish dishcloth, not tiny, but it's not one of the bigger ones either. You see the patterning? It's just lovely. It was so much fun to knit, and I really, really enjoyed this. I'll probably knit more of these. And I knit this out of Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton print in the teal colorway. I think my two favorite dishcloth cottons are Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton, and now my new one is right up here. It's the Knit Picks Dishy. Oh, so many pretty colors. There's a lot in a hank of it. So, anyway, or a skein of it, whatever. So this was the first one. Then the next one I finished was, let's see here. Oh yes, I love this one too. The Arken Ciel, Arcenciel. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And it's by Stacy Winklepleck from Knit Picks. And I used mostly Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton yarns, but I did use a couple of sugar and creams and a peaches and cream. No, two sugar and cream and two peaches and cream. This one's a little bit bigger. Boy, I really enjoyed knitting this, and I loved the colors. And I got my artist son to help me decide what order to put the colors in. So yeah, I just really, really enjoyed this a lot. So much fun. I would recommend this. And I'm going to try to do show notes this time, so I'll link this in the show notes. The next one I did was this one, and this one's not going to be as visible because it needs to be blocked, and I just haven't blocked it. But this is called Sheep in Love Cloth by Wynetta. Now this one is huge. I called it Sheepy Love, and I knit it out of Knit Picks Dishy, and this is a solid. Oh, and I haven't been telling y'all, but I knit every single one of these out of a size 7 US 4.5 millimeter needle. So let me make sure I've got this the right way. Nope, I didn't. Okay, it's a heart. You can probably see the heart. That's the sheep's body. This, let me look at it again, is the sheep's face, I believe. Even I can't really tell. And then here's a heart over here on the back, and you can see his legs right down here. This one was a lot of fun to knit, but it took up a huge percentage of one skein of the Knit Picks Dishy, and Knit Picks Dishy is 190 yards, so that's a pretty sizable dishcloth. I'm not complaining. I like it, but I've got some more of her patterns, and I plan to do them. I think I've got a couple of Christmas ones, and but this time I'll know how much yarn I'm going to be putting out to knit it. Okay, the next one is called Bobbles and Lace. Well, that's what I called it. It's actually the Mason-Dixon washcloth by Brooke Jones. This one's a smaller one. I use Knit Picks Dishy solid in the Kanai, and then the blush is what I use to knit the sheep one, and I use that in this one as well. Now, you could use a bunch of different colors in this, or you could do this a solid color. I love this one. Love this one. Look at those colors. Isn't it just beautiful? And this is why I called it Bobbles and Lace. This is the only lace section right around here. And then on the corners, there's a bobble. I love doing bobbles. I know some people really don't, but I do really enjoy the process of bobbles. So this one, again, was a lot of fun. I could see doing this one in like Christmas colors and using them as gifts. I have this last one. Let me find it. Apparently this one I did before the others. And this is the DW dishcloth. Here it is. The It's the DW Daryl Waltrip dishcloth. The stitches DW. I can't remember what that means. I'm sorry. This is by Rhonda White, and I've knit this one before, but it has slip stitches, you can see. And it's beautiful in a variegated yarn. And this is Hobby Lobby's. I love this cotton print in the fantasy colorway. And I thought this was amazing. Just beautiful. And it was a lot of fun to knit. This one's really fast. I think it's a 2-row repeat or something like that, 2 or 4. And man, once you get it down, you can look at it and go. So those are ones I finished. Another thing that I finished, I forgot to write it in my notes, so I have to go back, is the, while I was finishing up my dad's blanket, 2 of my sweet friends sent me a link to this fish aquarium in a jar, in like a mason jar or something. And I tried to get the pattern. And for some reason, even though it was a PDF, it wasn't for sale at the time. I did later find out and go back and crochet it. But it's a free pattern on her website, and I'll talk about that one in a minute. I actually don't see that fish. It's here somewhere, but I can't believe I've lost him. Anyway, I called this the easiest goldfish ever because obviously I don't have to feed it. And I did it. I put it in a jar. And this is the Big-Eyed Fish by Anne Marie Bentham. Can you see him? Sorry about the reflection. He was so much fun to crochet, and as you well know, I'm not a great crocheter. But I also found another pattern called No Fuss Fish, and she had some seaweed. So I crocheted this seaweed and attached it to these stones. I don't know if you can see the stones. There you go. And I glued them down. And these are some stones. Oh, while my mom was in the hospital all those months, my dad got himself a Siamese fighting fish. I think that's what you call them. And it was kind of his company. It makes me sad, and so I'm going to not talk too much about it. But this was, he no longer has that fish. But these were the extra stones that he had that he put in the bottom of the fish's aquarium. And so I used those to put in the bottom, and then I glued the seaweed to one and then glued the stone down so that it would stay in place and it wouldn't be flopping around. And also I made some to put, I don't know if you can, let me lift the lid. I crocheted some and put in the top so that it would hang down, but it doesn't hang down quite as much as I had hoped. It also says that you should dip these in glue, twist them and dip them in glue so that they kind of stay in place like they're twirly, like seaweed would be. But I just twisted it and left it, and I was pretty pleased with the way it looked. There you go. Anyway, it just takes a very few minutes. It's crocheted in one piece. And see if I can close this back. So I crocheted that. Hang on just a minute. And I crocheted this other fish that I'm going to show you. I'm reaching out up here to get this, because I plan to make another one of these. It was a lot of fun, and I've been in the mood to craft, which maybe I'll do here in a few days. This was the second one that I crocheted, and I was going to actually put this one in with the first one, but it turned out that they were just too big. That one was just too big to have a second one in there. This one is actually the No Fuss fish that I just showed you the seaweed from, and this one was a lot of fun as well. Really cute fish. And you knit these circles. This might be, yeah, this is the one that they actually showed in the aquarium. And I don't know if you've seen that. Just go to Pinterest and type in crocheted fish aquarium and in a jar, or fish in a mason jar or something. And oh my goodness. So this is the one, and it has these cute little crocheted gills that you put on the side. I don't know if you can kind of see it there. It was just so much fun to do, and then you just attach those. On both of these, I used a 3.75 millimeter or size F hook, and this one I used the Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn print and Poolside Siesta. which is a really pretty colorway. Now, I did want to go back and knit a tiny fish because I still thought I could get another one in that original one. And I had been wanting to knit a fish using these yarns from Gritty Knits that were left over from a shawl I knit a few years ago. These are the Merinosaurus worsted in the Dimetrodon and Cretaceous colorways. Oh, so cute. Look at this fish. Look at his smile. And I just stitched some eyes on. But this is a Mochi Mochi Land pattern, and it's tiny fish from, I believe it's from the Teeny Tiny Mochi Mochi Land book. And I have all of her books. This little guy took no time and was so much fun to knit. I really, really enjoyed him. I'd like to make some more in different colorways, and I don't know. It's just, I love knitting Anna's amigurumi. And if you've never knit them, I strongly suggest you give it a try. She's got some free ones, and so you could give it a shot, but she's got all these patterns, and she's got like, oh, I moved my books, 4 or 5 books, and I've got them all. I just really, really enjoy her her patterns. I was looking to see how long I've recorded, sorry. Anyway, so I'm going to get another one of those aquariums done. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yes. Speaking of Anna Hrakovic, she has a new pattern with several small patterns. She does that from time to time. She'll do like a small collection. And it's called Doggie Treats. And it's, oh my goodness, it's so cute. Let me see here. First is the doggy slider. Right there. Oh. Sorry about that. The doggy slider. And the ice cream doggy with the cherry on top. Then she's got the hot doggy, which I actually started, but I was working on my dad's blanket and I didn't want to stop, so I'm going to get back to that little guy. Also, for some reason it's not, here we go. There's the Chihuahua watermelon. This one is just too cute for words. And Mutloaf. So yeah, all of her patterns are always adorable, and I love them. If you've never noticed before, if you've never watched me before, you won't know that. But if this is not your first time, you probably know that I'm kind of obsessed with Anna and her little patterns, and big ones. She's got some really big ones too. I'm actually going to try to get some more knitted for my Halloween tree and my Christmas tree. I'm going to start the Changes shawl really soon, as soon as I finish A Mother's Heart. And like I just said, some Christmas and Halloween ornaments to put up. I need to get busy on the preemie hats as well for my friend to take down to the NICU at Christmas. So those are the things that I have coming up. And yeah, really having a good time right now with my knitting. I was going to talk about a stack of books here, but I think what I'm going to do is just talk about a couple of them this time. And for the next 2 or 3 episodes, I'll come back and talk about some more in just one second. I'm kind of on an Arnie and Carlos kick right now. I don't have all their books yet, but I've shown you the Knitted Birds, and you've seen them before. You've seen the Knitted Birds. Let's see, where's mine? Let me point the camera up just a little bit. Right there is my knitted bird, and it's got a knitted hat on it. And I had done one for my mom. No, 2 for my mom, and then did one for my younger son. I think I showed you that as well. Sorry about that. Okay. This is an amazing book. It is just brilliantly laid out, and I strongly suggest that if you like knitting amigurumi, this is great. They've got, the body's the same on all of them, but there are just so many different things. You can see they've got an Arnie and Carlos bird here with their glasses. You can do duplicate stitch on top. Here's a little Fair Isle. They've got some with sequins and feathers. Fantastic. I've shown you that one before, like I said. And then there's the Easter knits, which I've also shown you, where they have their little Easter, like Christmas balls. And let's see if I can find the little bunny is adorable too. Sorry. Yes, here's the bunny. So you could do him whatever way you wanted, whatever colors you wanted. That would be precious to put in some Easter baskets. And yes, I know we've got the better part of a year till it comes around, but honestly, is it ever too early to get started? Here's some eggs. Here's one of their eggs that you can knit. Oh, here's another one. This one's really cute. This is it's an egg with outhouse. So it'd be like a little birdhouse there. Really, really cute patterns. And they are inspired by where they live. I believe they live in Norway, but I could be completely wrong. In this beautiful place. Here are a couple of their ball ornaments. You just knit them and stuff them. And then, yeah, oh, here's some more. Trying not to show you the chart. It's kind of hard to cover them up. So, yeah, oh, yes, I love these too. The flower, the tulip. And this one that has this little simple flower. Let's see if I can cover this up and show you. So, so cute. So, those are a couple of the ones that I have, but one of the ones that I recently got, and this is the one I'm going to go through right now and show you, and then I'll show you a couple of others next time, is their Knitted Dolls book. Now, this book you can't get anymore, and it was only published in 2011, so it's only 7 years old. And then I found this one on Half Price Books website, I believe, and it was like $10. But then there were only like 2 left at that price, and the rest of them, no, I didn't even. Now I'm not sure where I got this. Yeah, it was Half Price Books. This was a library book, which I love. It's got the Cambridge Public Library tag right here to scan, and it's got all this right here. And then on the inside, it has a stamp that says the Cambridge Public Library right there. And then, where's that stamp? It says withdrawn. Oh, right there. Right there on the blue hair. Anyway, so this has some little dolls, and they're very cute. So you can take them, you can make them your own, but they give you some ideas, and I'm going to find a page here that has several of the dolls. Is that where I have it marked here? No. You can have some that are more feminine. There are some boy ones. Like there are some little, here we go. This is Carlos with his doll with the matching sweater. Oops, sorry. Love the sweater. So you could put as much or as little detail into the sweaters as you'd like, or the clothes. You can do, why can't I find this page? Oh, here we go. Here are a bunch of the dolls. They have them named. They have them in different skin tones, different hair colors, different outfits. There's even one for like these little pajamas. So yeah, I think these are just adorable. So cute. This kind of, oh, you might not remember, but Mrs. Beasley from Family Affair, her dress was like that. I actually have a Mrs. Beasley doll in there. But yeah, I'd really love to knit some of these. Oh, look at this. This is a little jumper and cardigan. How cute is that? And there's a little sweater. Could be like a little sweater dress. Outfit 36 and 37. Oh, here's another really cute one. It's little pants and a shirt. So yeah, there are so many things that you could do. Oh, look at this little dress. I love this with the little embroidered flowers at the bottom. I would love to make something like this for my niece and maybe knit a little top or a dress for her with those in the same yarn. That would be a lot of fun. That just gave me a brilliant idea. Anyway, so yeah, you can make it child friendly. You can make it more of like, this one has a nose ring. So yeah, really cute. Oh, they got this little sweater pattern inspired from a Swedish pamphlet for a knitted sweater from the 1920s. So they have all kinds of really, really great ideas. And I'm going to have to get some more of their books so I can show you, because they're amazing. What else was I going to talk to y'all about? Yes, I found these 2 yarns that I had wanted to talk about last time, and I couldn't find them, and they were on another shelf because they're not fingering weight. This is the Lisa Souza, and it's in the Canopoli colorway, and the yarn is 85% Pullworth and 15% silk, and they're 400 yards, and it is a worsted weight. And I think I'd like to do a cowl or maybe even a hat out of this. I'm not really sure. It's really, really lovely. Beautiful. You can see the blues and the shades of green in it. So I originally thought I might knit a cowl, and I still might, but I'm not really sure. And the other one is this amazing. This is the Tristan base by Round Table Yarns. And it's 100% superwash merino, and this is a sport weight, and it's 328 yards. And the colorway is a Fair Lady and Passing Wise. Look at the blue, y'all. Look how beautiful this is. The depth, and you're not even getting a very good look at it, but it is amazing, and I can't wait to knit a cowl out of this. This is definitely going to be a cowl, because I'm going to do one of the heart ones I showed you in her book. Yeah, this is just beautiful. When I saw this when I was working in her booth, I was mesmerized. I couldn't stop looking at it, and I kept thinking, please, please don't sell out of this before my shift ends so that I can buy this. And actually, this was part of my pay for working for her that day. So, I was going to talk a little bit about what's going on with my family. Oh yeah, since I'm in We Are Family, I want to talk about this week. Allie and Madeline from Savvy Skeins were in town, and I went and picked them up, and we got to go have some milk tea and talk and knit for a couple of hours. And we just had the best time. I'm so comfortable with them. And I just met them a couple of years ago, and the only times we've ever been together are at fiber festivals. But there was an instant connection, like there is with a lot of our knitting friends. This is just a completely different world from anything I've ever been in, and I love these girls so much. And her other daughter Anna, she wasn't with them this time, but I love Anna so much. They're a great family. She has 3 sons and a wonderful husband, and oh my goodness, I wish so much that we lived in the same town. But Allie is so precious, and she's a great mom. She dyes amazing things, and Madeline helps her, and she knits and spins. They both knit and spin beautifully, and Anna as well. Anna also crochets. I treasure my friendships with my knit sisters so much, and my knitting group. We are such a close-knit group, and we do things together outside of knit nights. Excuse me. We meet up, we go shopping, we go get something to eat. Like I said earlier, we had gone on that cruise back in last fall, and we're planning another trip together. I don't know what I would do without my knitting family. It's a wonderful group to be in, and we support each other so much through the good and the bad. We laugh and we cry. We've got each other's backs when bad things are going on. We love each other. And, when you've got bad things going on in your life, it really, really helps to have people that you know you can count on. And It means a lot to me to have these girls. They've been very supportive with all of this with my dad. And I'm going to get to my dad in just a minute. So I'm going to finish up with 1 week, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things with my family. My older son, as you know, if you've been watching, and if you're not one of my closest friends that heard me talk about this a million times, but my older son was driving the car when my mom was in the wreck a few years ago, when he had his first seizure. And his seizures have stopped, thank goodness. We have been so fortunate that we had a good neurologist who was able to figure out the medication that he needed to stop his seizures. And it's been a long time since he's had one. But that really threw him off. He had just finished college a few months earlier, and it took a while to get the seizures to stop, and he couldn't seem to get his life back on track. Well, a couple of months ago or so, he was asked to come in for an interview at Target to work at their Starbucks. That's where he's been working, at Starbucks. And when he interviewed, they said, "Oh, you have a degree in criminal justice." They said, "We don't want to keep you in Starbucks forever." And so he wasn't there any time. And they came and said they wanted him to interview for a position in asset protection. So he did. Had to go through, I believe, 3 interviews, and he was given the job. So after a few weeks of training, he is now in asset protection, and they want him to move up. So he's putting his degree to work. He is able to do what he wanted to do, what he got his degree in college. And I think it's really giving him a new lease on life. It's been a great thing for him, and I'm so happy. The other thing is an update on my dad. It's good and bad. Nothing too bad, though. The good news, the great news is that his treatments are going so well. His oncologist is a wonderful person. She's very compassionate and loving. She's hands-on. When we're there and we have any questions at all, she takes time and answers our questions, puts our minds at ease. If we have something that we need help with, she's there to help us. She doesn't rush us through. It is just such an amazing experience. He's going to have a PET scan here in a couple of weeks after he has his, or I don't actually know when. He's got his 3rd chemo treatment coming up next week, Monday and Tuesday. And then we'll have the PET scan after that at some point. And then we'll be able to see the progress that he's making. But this should be the halfway point. We did find out that it's stage 4, but stage 4 only means that he's had it longer. With lymphoma, it doesn't matter what stage you're in, you will be cured. So the only thing is, it could be, and she didn't say this is just me, it could, increase the length of his treatments, but he only has to come over once a month, 2 days, and that's it. Then he gets the rest of the month to be at home and do what he needs to do. The only bad thing is he started telling me that he was having a pain below where they had done the biopsy, which is his lower abdominal area. And everybody thought maybe it was just like nerves that were still trying to heal up and were hurting. But it turned out we got an appointment back with the surgeon that did his biopsy and put in his chemo port. And he has this massive hernia. Oh my goodness, the thing is bulging out so far. And he actually has a bilateral one on both sides, but the one on the left side is not bad, and he didn't even notice it. So we went and saw Dr. Fan the other day, who also is just fabulous, amazing, wonderful doctor. And they would rather not have to do surgery until Dad's treatments are done in November. But Dad was in a lot of pain, really a lot of pain with this. So we were able to buy a thing called a truss that wraps around that area, and it has Velcro on the side so you can tighten it up as much as you want, and it holds it in. It's compression. And so Dad called me this morning, and he said he's feeling so much better. And as a backup, we went ahead and ordered some compression underwear. It's probably more than you wanted to know, but this way, hopefully we can hold off having the surgery until he's done with his chemo, because it's going to delay his chemo. And since he is going through chemo, it will hold up on the, hold him back on his healing process from the surgery. So if he can continue to feel well with this truss and compression underwear, then hopefully we can hold off until like maybe after Thanksgiving to do the surgery. But I'll be able to keep y'all updated, and we do have 2 upcoming fiber festivals in the fall. The next one is in September. I believe it's the 20th and 21st, and it's Fiber Fun in the Sip in Mississippi, and Kim and I are going, and I'm so excited. Laura and Leslie from the Knit Girls podcast are going to be there, so I finally get to meet them. They don't have a clue who I am, but I'm so excited to meet them. And then the next one we have is going to be in November. I believe it's the first or second weekend in November, and it's the East Texas Fiber Festival in Lindale. This is the 5th year for it, and we've been every time. We were there for the inaugural. It was our first inaugural, It was actually our first Fiber Festival to go to. So we're looking forward to going back, and a lot of our friends are going to be there this year. And so it's 89 days till I put up my Christmas decorations. I looked it up today. November 13th, I believe, is when I'm putting them up. So it's going to be a great fall. I'll be back to talk to y'all again in a couple of weeks. And until then, knit on.